Alright, so this little guy here, he's a little stud colt, and I don't remember if he's 2 or 3, honestly. But we're going to get him colt started, and this is all the ahead of time work and all the foundation work before I put the saddle on and everything else. And so we're going to get started here with the lariat. He's not 100% halter broke. You can put a halter on him, kind of lead him around, but he still gets a little stuck at times and a little sticky, so we're going to work on that with the lariat and also get him used to things moving around him, touching him all over the place. He's a friendly little guy, but you know, just still kind of raw as to what he knows. But the owners that have him, they do not baby their horses. They don't spoil them, basically, I should say. So he has manners, and that's always a good thing to start off with. So what we're going to do here, he wants a pet here. What we're going to do here is I'm going to start to just kind of send him off. And I'm just going to let him carry this around him. Oh, he's going to change directions on me already. That's okay too. So I'm going to get a little feel on this rope. This isn't where I was going to start, but you take what you got offered to you. I'm going to take a little feel on that. And he really doesn't understand how to yield all the way to pressure yet. What I want him to do eventually is to follow this until he completely unwinds and follows that pressure of the rope on the opposite side of his body. There he goes, and as soon as he does, I release. He didn't make it all the way, that's okay, but he got the idea there. And I'm just going to hold on to here. Don't have a lot of pressure, just kind of helping him here. There he goes, then he goes the other way. I'm going to always do this work without gloves on. If you can't do this without gloves, don't do it. You want to make sure that you don't ever burn your horse or hurt your horse. And if you have gloves on, you can sometimes get a little bit firmer than what you should be. You got to have a lot of feel to do this. Again, you don't want to burn them, you don't want to choke them out, you don't want to do stuff, so don't wear your gloves. And take this, I'm just going to toss that over top of him again. And just let him feel that going around behind his back legs there. Now, he's a little stud colt, so they don't usually have too much trouble with stuff behind their hind legs, as a general rule, not a definite rule. But as you get the mares, a lot of times they'll get pretty squealy and kicky when they feel something coming around behind them. So I want him to be okay with this, because things get behind him, things can happen, and I want him, that I can put him basically in a complete pretzel in this rope, and he's not going to panic. That'll help with him if he gets cast or stuck, or even just feeling a little claustrophobic with, you know, he's going to be hopefully going to the racetrack here. So he needs to be okay in tight spaces and being clogged up and all sorts of things like that. So we're going to just make sure that we can put him in all sorts of binds and get him to work it out. Now, this is actually the second day I've done this, so he's learned a little bit. We tried this the other day and we had more interruptions and the video just was not going to happen, it seemed, that day. So I figured, well, we'll start again here. It's only day 2, so you'll still see a lot of stuff going on here. And again, I just have a little bit of light pressure. And he's a nice, kind little horse. So he's not putting too much of a fight, but he's obviously not understanding this pressure yet. He's starting to try and yield, but I'm just going to hold and wait. Just going to kind of hang out here. And all this is going to help with that halter breaking. So when I put pressure on him on the halter, meaning just walking forward, or ask him to walk backwards, or ask him to stop, he will. He should lead from every part of his body the same as he would from the halter. Eventually I'll be putting this on his feet. And I'm just holding this. This is something that takes, you know, time, and you just take as much time as it needs. He's thinking about it. You just wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. Don't want to get it too much under his tail there, but that's all right. Because woo! And what I'll do is if he just keeps going around too much, I'll try and step in front of him a little bit. And he's going to play around here, and that's okay. Just give him all the time he needs. This is stuff that a lot of people think is kind of boring, but it's real essential. There, just kind of helped him out so that he could find the right answer, because he was having trouble finding the right answer, so I kind of set it up so he could find the right answer. So he found the release on that. But anyway, this is all the foundation and all the real important stuff that every horse needs to know. And not just colt starting, but if I get a horse in that has trouble with anything, I'm just gonna, it's a little windy, I'm just gonna do this to every single horse, no matter what, because this is usually where the problems lie, is in the beginning foundation work. A lot of times this kind of stuff wasn't done. If you have a horse that has trouble trailer loading, sometimes you'd go do this stuff with them, and they're really bad at it. And what's a trailer? It's getting squished, getting pinned up against stuff, getting kind of claustrophobic. They don't know how to lead and all that kind of stuff. There we go. And so you want to get this done on every horse. And again, if you don't know what you're doing, practice on a horse that's really good so that you can understand how to get that. And don't ever burn your horse. If you burn your hands, that's okay. Burn your hand a time or two. And learn. We call them learn burns. Just don't burn the horse. I'm just going to pick that up again. I'm just going to wait on him. And again, if he takes too long to kind of figure it out, I'll kind of help him find the answer. And you'll find in a few days of me doing this that I'll put that rope over there and he'll carry it until I put the slightest amount of pressure, and then he'll just come right off of that. Same as if you're riding and your legs are just kind of wrapped and steady around your horse. They're not going to do anything, but the second you put the slightest amount of pressure, or you move your hip just a little bit, they should come off of that. It starts right here. I'm actually riding my horse right now. If you get all this done pretty good, you're going to have that occasional horse that has a little bit of an issue. But if you get that good right now, by the time you actually get on your horse, they've already had several rides, essentially. And life usually goes pretty good. I'm just going to wait on them here, and they're always better on one side than the other, just like we are. I'm going to hang out. If it takes them too long, I'll try and step in front, help them find that answer. There we go. See if he thinks about that. See if he licks his lips. If not yet, it's all right. Toss that puppy back over there. And I don't want it under his tail too tight. Eventually we'll put it under his tail and he'll get used to that. Because maybe after, he's done racing or something, maybe somebody wants to buy him for a cow horse, although he has awful long legs for that. But you never know. Even if they buy him as a jumper, or who knows what his future career will be, things can get stuck underneath that tail. I've seen it happen on the weirdest of things. So you want these horses good with no matter what happens. And again, I'll just kind of step in front of him here and not let him turn into me yet. I don't want to pretzel him up too bad yet. So if he goes to turn into me, I'll just kind of do that, help him find the right answer. He finds release. He needs to think about that. It's all right. Drive him on. Now again, some horses, it turns this into a pretty big rodeo. My flag moved. And that's okay too. You don't get any heavier on them. You don't get impatient. They need to figure it out. Give them time to figure it all out. And this is not going to get finished in one day. This is not a one-day process. Colt starting does not take a day. You can get a lot done in a day, but it's the repetition that takes it. And you always got to remember, it's a few thousand hours, 2,000-3,000 hours at least of steady work on your horse until you can consider them, a good true horse, and that's, you know, good horsemanship on that horse. That's not just going out and feeding them carrots for 3,000 hours. That's working on something specific, working on your communication with this horse and him understanding. It takes a while until things are really settled in. That's why your kids go to school for so many years, and why on-the-job training often takes quite some time as well. You don't learn everything. Don't learn everything in half a second. It takes time. You have to ingrain it in them, kind of. There we go. That was a good change. That was nice. Oops. It's okay if I get a little sloppy here. Now on this round pen, we have this special made. We don't have really wide panels because sometimes we get these colts in that are pretty interesting, or even adults that need to be kind of restarted or rehelped, and they'll get their heads through those bars and try and climb over the top of them. So this is 6 feet tall, and those bars are pretty close together, so they can't get their noggin through them. Wait on them, and I'll show you, I'll make another video later showing what this looks like when it's done on the same horse, so you see the difference. There we go. Nice and easy, pretty simple. So what I'm going to try and do here is throw that over there. He needs to be okay with all that stuff too. I should be able to throw stuff at him, and he should be okay. I'm not hurting him. He has to learn that anything I do isn't going to hurt him. Especially if he goes to the track, or even a kid's pony. Things happen. People walk up and throw their hands up, or you're gonna be riding down the trail and somebody toilet papered a house, and next thing you know, you're on a bucking bronc. So you want them to say, everything's okay. There we go. Now we're making some changes. Good. And it's all about the timing and the release. Even if he tries a little bit, I give little releases all the time. Wait on him. There we go. Nice and soft. Perfect. Again, you want your horse no heavier than a hummingbird, and it all starts right here. I pick up this line every time, completely expecting him to come around soft. When he doesn't, I'll help him. And I'll do as much as I need to do to get the job done. Do what I need to do to get the job done, but I always start and stop. Start and finish where it needs to be. Sometimes it looks pretty crazy and hectic in the middle. But as long as they come out learning something, and hopefully I always come out learning something, because I never know it all. There we go. Good. So anyway, we continue just doing this and eventually getting this rope all over the place. And that's how it is around, just the lariat around the neck, and him learning how to yield the hindquarters to it. And we'll stop this tape, and then I'll put it around the cinch area so we can work on the cinch and the flank on a separate one. I don't want these videos too long. So, and we'll also work on leading. Let me do that real quick. So this guy doesn't always come. So when I pick up on this, I'm going to wait until he kind of comes to me. I'm going to pick up an offset so that he wants to come to me. I'm not just going to sit here and hold on to him and choke him out. I'm going to get a feel, wait on him, and then I'm releasing big enough that you can see it. As soon as he takes a step kind of towards me, I release it. Now he'll follow me around all day long, but he doesn't always understand follow this feel. And I want him to understand follow this feel, because that feel is what I'm going to ride him with. I don't ride him with craziness, I ride him with feel. And then when he gets it, we got it good. So I'll be able to put that rope anywhere on any part of his body, pick it up, and he should follow that no matter what I'm asking. So anyway, that's part of, how this kind of starts. And like I said, I'll explain going on to the feet here next. And after he's done it for a while, I'll make another video of what it should look like when it's kind of finished. So thank you very much.